Today I'll be showing you the Pentax DA-Star 55mm f1.4 SDM lens. The lens includes a nice robust hood with rubberization on the end. It's definitely a portrait style hood with felt inside. Lens itself is nice solid construction. It is not metal barrel, it's plastic. Unlike the DA-Star 300mm lens that I have, I mean, it still feels pretty robust, so that's okay. The manual focus ring is very smooth, probably the best manual focus ring I've seen, especially on a digital lens. This is really great focus ring. Nice, large and rubberized, has engraved serial number, 58mm filter thread, internal distance scale. It's fully weather resistant, protect from intrusion of water and dust. Has a autofocus manual focus switch. Has an internal focus motor and does not have a screw drive connection at all, unlike some of the other DA-Star lenses. This is only motor drive focus, so older Pentax bodies will not autofocus with this lens. Overall image quality is very high, definitely designed for digital. You can see, compared to some of the older lenses, this lens has a very sharp, contrasty image. I used to have a FA 50mm f1.4, and I'm definitely glad that I switched to the 55 f1.4. I much prefer, oddly enough, the 55 on aps-c than I do 50. It's only 5mm focal length distance, but it really does make a difference. This is a great lens for portrait photography, or you can really use it anywhere around 85mm after the crop factor. Inside, the front element actually moves. It's a kind of an unusual design, but it must work well for that. I forgot to mention it has a nice metal lens mount, SDM contacts, and all of the lens data contacts, aperture lever. Overall, I'm glad with the purchase, but there are a few quirks. In rain and such, I prefer to have a filter on the lens to add one more level of water intrusion protection. But overall, very nice, solid lens. The focus motor is really slow compared to anything else I have, but I think that can help with accuracy in focus. I mean, if you're at f1.4 aperture, having a slower motor drive kind of helps get that exacting focus. Image quality wise, as I was saying, very high contrast, sharp. The background blur is not the best I've seen, but it's pretty high quality. It's got that more of a super high contrast look to it. You can get pretty reasonably smooth background blur at f1.4, f2. You take the lens up to f5.6 and the right distance from the subject and everything, you'll get very nice high sharpness images. Kind of an unusual lens. It's a little expensive considering the focal length. You can buy something like the FA 50 1.4, which is quite a bit cheaper, but I think you are missing out on some of the good aspects of this lens, such as the weather resistance, the high sharpness, the good background blur, the construction overall. It's a very nice solid lens. And of course the manual focus ring is leagues and leagues better than the FA50, and probably anything excluding the 43mm limited. That one I'm sure is a good manual focus ring, but this does have some good features to it. It is a little expensive. I would suggest trying it out sometime if you have the chance. So that is the Pentax DA-Star 55mm f1.4 SDM lens.